Welcome to the Empowering Tomorrow's Automotive Software Podcast, brought to you by ETAS, a single source of cutting-edge software and hardware solutions that make automotive embedded systems safe, smart, secure, and sustainable. Each episode, we'll be joined by ETAS and industry experts to discuss how electrification, automation, and connectivity are impacting the automotive industry. Now, sit back and enjoy the discussion.
Welcome to all. I am Madelyn Downs. I'm responsible for marketing communications in North America at ETAS. We're through the first 2 months of 2025, and the year has started out with a bang, especially with CES to kick us off. There has been no shortage of exciting innovations, particularly in the software-defined vehicle space and with AI integration. We're seeing rapid advancements in the tooling, software integration space. Today, we'll discuss key highlights, what caught our attention, and the biggest takeaways from this CES and the beginning of the year. My guest here joining me is Omar Alshabibi. He is the lead product manager at ETAS, based in our Waterloo, Canada office. He thrives in supporting customers to fix their problems and is passionate about following trends in the automotive industry. He too spent the week at CES exploring new tech and connecting with industry leaders. Omar, welcome.
Thank you, Mari, and hi to the listeners. And thanks for having me. I'm so excited to talk today briefly about what we have learned and observed at CES this year.
Awesome. Yeah, let's kick it off. So my first question to you, what did you find most interesting from CES? Was there any news that surprised you or was of note?
Yeah, so the common theme at CES this year was the AI, as expected, artificial intelligence. And it's really interesting to see how different players in different industries have advanced or still advancing AI to make it accessible and usable for different sectors, right? Such as robotics, energy, health, home, smart home, automotive in particular. That's what we focus on. It's almost in every sector that is utilizing advanced computers and powered by AI-based chips. So it's everywhere. And we've seen this really obvious at this CES, and it's becoming part of consumers' expectations, to be quite honest. Yeah. It's all about bringing simplicity and efficiency to make complex tasks achievable, less time consuming, and enhancing customer experience and stuff like that. So in a nutshell, what the overall theme at CES was the AI. But now, if you want to jump into automotive, and this is what we focus on as ETAS, and this is what the field and the industry that we serve. So there has been almost like more than 50 or 60 announcements from different OEMs, mainly Asian and European OEMs at CES 2025, focusing on software-defined vehicle, advanced digital cockpit combined with the AI, as we talked about, autonomous electric vehicle, and interesting things that we've observed as well. A lot of partnership discussions between silicon suppliers and OEMs directly to bring in AI and advanced functionality into the automotive industry. It's not a new, of course, but it's taking, gaining momentum and moving forward.
Definitely more prevalent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, for instance, we can see, we've heard during the CES, Toyota and Hyundai are working now with NVIDIA. And, in terms of, mixing between AI and automotive, we've seen NVIDIA kind of stole the spotlight and this year at CES with their new announcement regarding the new Thor platform for its advanced AI capability. And they talked about functional safety, some of their software components and hardware blocks, that it's ASIL-D, and it's targeting automotive applications. So that's really the interesting things that we've seen. In addition to what we have observed, that Asian OEMs showcased many innovation at CES 2025, especially when it comes into user experience, engagement between the drivers and the vehicle. They had a really good presence this year. Nice infotainment, cockpit, environment. And of course, almost all the vehicles they have presented was electric vehicles.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
Yeah, and that is kind of the increasing global presence of automotive OEMs at CES. But let's focus of US based OEMs. That was kind of the
Hmm.
thing that we've observed that one. It was an interesting to see how the dynamic is changing and moving from having, all the global OEMs presence, but we did not see this year that much of US based OEMs at CES, unlike
Yeah.
last year and the year before. That was kind of
Yep.
a different thing. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. More and more, the show is based in the U.S., but and for the automotive space, that's almost the only thing that's part of the U.S. in some ways, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, of course. But a lot of AI companies were driving the advancement, kind of US-based companies, and we can see this clearly. But for the particular thing is the automotive industry that we have not seen, that much focus of from the North American or US-based OEMs. So how does that relate to us? And how do we bring this into ETAS and our journey when it comes into SDV? We have showcased our wide range of software-based portfolio, focusing on advancing AI solution. And the message we're trying to push for the audience within the automotive ecosystem is that ETAS is paving the road for efficient way of enabling and advancing software functionality for HPC and overall E architecture through the tooling and middleware capabilities and all the software functionality that could run on ADAS sensors and what have you. The good thing that we've also presented our embedded AI coder that has the ability to generate C code from a trained neural networks for embedded systems to improve efficiency, reduce costs, simplify development, improve time to market. It goes back again to the overall big theme of AI, how to bring simplicity and efficiency to the consumer, and how ETAS is actually bringing that simplicity, efficiency, improve time to market to the automotive market. So that kind of maybe that was a lot of nutshell here, but this is the yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, thank you, Omar. No, and that's great. I think definitely too, I was able to see that embedded AI coder that we showed, and that was really, it was a nice demonstration to really show how we're starting to play in that space. And like you said, I think every other automotive company that showcased, and even automotive adjacent company that showcased something at CES talked AI. And like you said, it's been around now for about a year or so since it's really exploded, I think. But not a day goes by now that I don't either utilize AI in my day-to-day work or at least have a conversation evolving around it. So definitely, thanks for the insights. So, the industry it's still crazy and busy and lots of announcements are coming out. So, what other big trends have you seen so far in the year, and what are things to watch regarding especially SDVs as we get into 2025?
So what I see, of course, from listening to the big players and observing how the automotive ecosystem is moving, there are a few things that we need to watch, and probably some of them is already happening. We see the silicon suppliers, the system on chip silicon suppliers having more influence into automotive landscape and driving technology trends. This is true, and this is not new again, but there's a lot of influence happening, especially how you develop, deploy, and drive the market. There's always a technology push and market pull, right? So we can see there's a balance. There's a lot of technology push from different players here. We try to adopt and resolve customers' problems, but also we can see we can see some market pull, which eventually will get bigger and bigger. Evolution on the silicon suppliers that it's happening to accommodate and support all the requirements for autonomous vehicle, and that it's coming, and how to enable software enabled fleet. We talked about AI. Now also we need to bring in AI back again into the discussion here. I see like multi-model AI technology will be advanced and can be utilized in automotive manufacturing, advancing software development through car digitalization, and so on, right? So You can, pick and choose between text or image to change it to whatever you want, data into an image and stuff like that, which, of course, this is used in a consumer market in a different
Mhm.
industries, but eventually they will be used as a tool to enable, the personalization and customer experience when it comes to interface with the vehicle to advance that SDV functionality and SDV experience.
Yeah, definitely. That's great insights. And, obviously, us in the industry, when we talk SDV, we always, or at least personally, I can say I always think of the vehicle itself and building to that proof point, right? But, the average consumer, the average driver, they don't necessarily care what's under the hood or what computers run the car. But those multimodal AI technologies will really make the difference and impact as we move towards SDV for the end consumer. Really that personalization that we always talk about becoming that proof point and really seeing it expand even incrementally as we move towards SDV with the cars that are on the road or just the next generation versus maybe 5 to 10 years out in the market. All right, awesome. These are great insights. So the final question I wanted to chat with you on is where do you think we are in our journey towards SDV becoming more mainstream? And, both I would love to hear your insights both, on the industry as a whole and for us here at ETAS.
Yeah, I will start with my personal view and try to link it into what I see how the industry could go. Of course, no one has a crystal ball. um, I wish I have it. But my personal view on this is that SDV journey has started already, and whether it's partially or gradually, the functionality will be deployed by different OEMs globally, and it will start with, based on the maturity of the solution, and focusing on how could you bring in safety, bring in all the sensor fusion into the car, how to enable that interface between regular interface between the vehicle and the OEM to prove efficiency, increase customer, enhance customer experience, provide that feedback loop between the vehicle and the OEM. So that journey has started. It's being implemented, and it's different from one OEM to another based on needs, market, geographic, and stuff like that. This will take, in order to get this into a real solid deployment of SDVs, you need to have a real collaboration from all different industry players like OEMs, tier ones and tier twos, and all the software providers that we talked about. And the key point that I wanted to link between the SDV journey and what we discussed before on the, the SDV in general outside the CS, it's how OEMs can differentiate themselves, right? What value you're adding into your product, right? And how you make the use and interface with your product, it's in a different way compared to what you had in the past. And that is what now it's changing consumer behavior, right? I buy a car now that it's actually, capable of connecting my phone, interface with the vehicle as if it's my phone, getting all the ADAS sensor data to protect me when I'm driving, having the ability to get a report when my car needs maintenance, and sends back information to the OEM to improve the design of my car in the future or fixes things. So that kind of thing that it will eventually become a consumer and market expectation to have such functionality in your car when you buy or lease your vehicle. So I think that it's what it's going to happen, and we at ETAS we are pushing towards that message and trying to enable our customers develop and being efficient and driving all the different software components of building blocks. I call them Lego pieces that we've developed and we continue to develop to connect the dots between what OEMs want to offer and what ETAS can offer here, and bring that flexibility and increase adoption of software defined implementation. Yeah, so that's kind of the nutshell what I feel. And of course, we'll continue to monitor the market and work with our partners and customers to make this reality and push this forward.
Awesome. Yeah, those are super valuable insights, great insights. And that's why, like we talked about in the beginning, your passion for staying on top of these trends and keeping kind of your finger on the pulse there is definitely apparent. And that is why I was so glad that you could join us today. This has been great. These insights have been super valuable. And, especially like you said, this industry is evolving so rapidly. And so for you to continue to monitor and for ETAS to continue to monitor and to see where we can support, our customers and potential customers as we're on this journey and make this transition, it's been awesome. So, talking about AI is everywhere. Many global players in the automotive industry, especially at CES, I think everyone is talking AI. You can't escape it. Many partnerships were announced and advanced in the industry, we're working together towards achieving that SDV adoption. And it's been very interesting for me to see silicon and SoC suppliers becoming more and more integral and influential in the automotive industry, as you spoke about. So, and like you said, this journey on SDV has already started. So we will continue to work openly and collaboratively as an industry to continue to push towards mass adoption for sure. So, Omar, thank you for joining us. Again, loved talking with you, loved chatting with you, and looking forward to continuing our conversations throughout the year. And I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you again for having me in this discussion. And I look forward to discussing different topics in the future.
Awesome. All right. Well, everyone out there in podcast land, thank you for listening. This now concludes our episode, so please check back soon for a new one.
Thank you for joining this episode of the Empowering Tomorrow's Automotive Software podcast. Please leave a comment or review with your feedback or what you'd like to hear in future episodes. To learn more about automotive embedded systems and ETAS's capabilities, visit our website at ETAS. That's ETAS.com.